it would be demanding, more demanding than it has been for Cam Newton because they run a lot of RPOs in Carolina. But I think the route combinations for Odell Beckham, he knows he got to get the ball to Odell Beckham. But watch the rookie tight end, Ingram. Watch Greg Olsen, the route combinations they've run with Greg Olsen. Watch some of the transfer over to the tight end with the New York Giants.
Yeah, some of that stuff they did for Steve Smith kind of early in his career. But he also ran the ball a ton. Does this mean if you're going to stick with Eli Manning, do you draft Saquon Barkley? Instead of getting a guy for the future, get a guy who helps you now. Obviously, CC, you know what this is about. Dave Gettleman's the general manager. He was in Carolina.
Familiar face.
You know, a rabbi in the room. He brings his guy over, and the Shula name doesn't hurt either. This is going to be fascinating to see because there are no two more polar opposites in terms of speed and athleticism at the quarterback position than the guy he used to work with in Cam Newton, the guy he works with now in Eli Manning.
That's true. Okay, so Paul Pierce, he's done plenty of talking about his own jersey retirement, but now that it's finally happened, he's talking about one of his old teammates. Pierce said that Kevin Garnett should without a doubt have his number retired by Boston. KG played just 6 seasons for the Celtics, but he was important in their 2008 title game. So, CC, is 6 seasons enough to have your number retired in the rafters?
Oh, man, it depends on which 6 seasons, who they're with. Like, if you're with a legendary franchise like Boston, I don't think so. But if you're somewhere like the Timberwolves, which I was there when Kevin Garnett came to town, the big ticket, that is a different story. Lakers, unless you're going to win a couple titles, I don't believe that one title in Boston, and it's nothing against Kevin Garnett. He's a Hall of Fame basketball player. But 6 seasons, with all the numbers they have retired, I mean, we need some of the numbers so we can field a team.
Well, I still don't understand why the Lakers retired 2 numbers for Kobe. Just like pick a number. And yes, Kevin Garnett is synonymous with the Timberwolves. But CC, he was the unquestioned leader of the Boston Celtics when they won a championship. Pierce was the scorer, but Garnett was the leader.
He transformed the team.
Completely. And because of that, 6 seasons sounds, and it was really more like 5. It feels like too short, but I think Paul Pierce
because of the
right.
impact.
Because of the impact, because of the championship, because what championships mean to Boston, the fact that it proves what guys have thought for a long time. Like, if I just got out of Minnesota to a championship club, what could I do? He actually did it. Yeah, I kind of think you do retire it.
All right, now, moving on. The Cavs beat the Thunder 120-112 last night. But let's focus on OKC just for a second here. Now, they've lost 6 of their last 8 games. Doug, what the heck is going on with the Thunder? Why are they struggling?
Well, the bench isn't strong, and as CC pointed out, the bench numbers were overwhelmingly in the favor of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and that's one of the things they had to do. Remember, these are 2 2-for-1 trades they made for Carmelo Anthony and for Paul George. So the strength was their depth, and now they're a front-loaded team. But the other part that I don't know how much you guys have discussed, but Carmelo Anthony is a little bit washed with the exception of he's just become a jump shooter. He's really struggled as a guard. He really struggles off the dribble. This was the best all-around scorer in the NBA, and now he looks like, well, some of those Cleveland players look like that they jettisoned. He looks a little bit over the hill. He's not as over the hill as Derrick Rose or as Dwayne Wade is, but a little too close to over the hill for the speed and athleticism that Cleveland and the elite teams in the NBA throw at him.
Yeah, and you could see last night a couple matchups against LeBron James. LeBron took advantage of him while he was playing the 4 position. Also, from a bench standpoint, you make a good point. Out of all the scoring last night, they only got 20 points from their bench, and that came from 2 players. So you're not going to be effective going against the deep West when your bench is not making a significant contribution.
You mentioned the matchup with LeBron. That's a great point. And, like, look, Carmelo only played 1 year in college. LeBron played no years in college. Came out the same year.
Basically the same age.
But basically the same age. The difference is that LeBron has taken care of his body the whole time. Carmelo Anthony now, the last 3 or 4 years, has started to really take care of his body. But I think that the difference is what LeBron James has dedicated himself to his whole life to is his body. And that difference could not have been more stark in contrast.
Man, you can see that. That's true. Finally, let's talk more about LeBron. Now, this little run's been nice for the Cavs, right? But the big story is still whether or not he stays. There's this free agency thing still at play. Now, and the odds of where he'll end up, well, anybody could guess. The Rockets are the betting favorite to land LeBron, followed by then the Cavs, then the Lakers and Warriors. Chris, where do you think this guy's going to end up?
This is what I do know for certain. LeBron today, he doesn't know.